Maybe we should meditate and somehow send energy to George to somehow resolve this problem, Laura. I don't know.
That might help. Byron, would you be willing to lead a meditation?
Excuse me. I will do my best.
Okay.
So if we can just come into our seats, feeling your feet touching the earth, and just take a couple of deep breaths, breathing in. I feel my body, and breathing out. I feel my body. Breathing in, I calm my body, and breathing out, I calm my body. Breathing in and breathing out. In and out. And as you become more aware of your breath, just notice, where does the breath begin? Does it begin at the nostrils? Or perhaps it begins in the belly? Or it might be originating from a different place. Wherever you notice that it's originating, just notice. And for the sake of this meditation, try to maintain your focus in that one place rather than switching from one to another. And as you continue the breath, become aware of the contact points of your cushion or chair, your feet planted firmly on the ground. You might even notice a tingling sensation in your feet. And just start to sense what you experiences on your feet. And then as we move into the ankles and the shins, and through the calves, moving up the leg to your knees, behind the knees, and through the back of your legs, becoming aware of the contact point of your legs against chair or cushion, the top of the legs, and then start to sense the pelvic cradle as you sit in your seat, being aware of a nice straight posture so that you don't feel like you're holding, but just very relaxed and feeling the vertical axis from your head to your pelvic cradle. And then sensing the belly and the back, perhaps even the space between the belly and the back. And moving up the chest and the shoulders, down the shoulders to the front of your arms, the back of your arms, your elbows, down your hands. You might even feel a tingling sensation in your hands, the back of the hands. As you move your awareness back up your arms to the shoulders and to the neck, and the back of the neck, up through the spine, and start to relax your head, feeling the sensations at the crown of your head, and begin to relax the forehead, and your cheeks, and the jaw as you continue to breathe in and breathe out. And if you notice any particular place in the body where you might feel some tension or tightness, just breathe in to that area, focusing on breathing in. And as you exhale, relax. And just being aware of the physical sensations at your sense doors, being aware of what you notice at the nostrils, the mouth, the nose, and the ears. Any sensation at all, just notice. Concentrating on the breath. And if you notice you go into thinking mode, just stop the thinking and don't take it one thought further, and just return to the breath. Remember, this is always about returning. Your mind starts to wander. You might name what it is that pops into your mind. It could be planning. You might just say planning or thinking, and just return your attention back to the breath. End our meditation with a little bit of loving kindness, starting with ourselves. May I be happy. May I be healthy. May I be filled with loving kindness. And then extending it out to your family and your community. May you be happy. May you be healthy. May you be with ease. May you be without tension. May you be filled with loving kindness. And then sending that out into the world, even to those with whom you may have tension with. May you be happy. May you be healthy. May you live with ease. May you feel energy. May you be filled with loving kindness. And when you're ready, I want to invite you to maybe stretch. You might stretch your arms over your head. You might want to twist, relieving any tension in the body. You might want to roll your shoulders back, then roll them forward. And when you're ready, you can open your eyes and return to the group.
Thanks, Byron. I hope my voice is sounding. Yay. Wow, what a trip that was.
Welcome back.
Me and technology. I don't know what we're going to do with this computer and the sound system, but it's awfully good to be here with you all. And Deidre, let me just ask you first, have you been here before? Because I know you and I've shared online.
Nope.
And first time. Well, really welcome. It's been great connecting with you online. And Giorgio, you can feel free to share your video if you can. And again, really nice to have you here for the first time. So I want to just share in the time remaining. We've got to be brief, obviously, but what we usually do is we speak to what we're most concerned about happening right now, and then we look to what and yes, Michelle's thanking Byron, and I should have thoughtfully thanked you more, Byron. That was beautiful. And thank you for rescuing the Zoom call. But usually we share, what's troubling us. And then we move from that. We take 20 to 30 minutes doing that. And then we move from that to what we're either inspired by, what we find hopeful, where we're taking action that feels like it's meaningful. So that there's an arc to this of acknowledging what is really difficult, a really difficult time for all of us, but then moving and inspiring each other with the places that we find hope. And it's been something that people have come back to again and again to join us. So I wonder if people could share, given the time, just in a sentence. Can you do it in one sentence, maybe? What troubles you? Because I mean, there's an awful lot that we could go on and on and on. And I know all of us could speak to it, but and what most troubles you right now. So whoever wants to begin, and Deidre and Giorgio, we encourage everybody. We want to hear from everybody, but just in a sentence this time, and we'll go a little bit longer on what might inspire you. Feel free to unmute and share. David, you've unmuted yourself.
One word, tyranny.
Tyranny. That's, whew, you nailed it, man. All right, let's hear from someone else. And it can be a whole sentence. That was very brief for David. Well done. Anyone else? Who else? We want everybody.
The kidnappings and disappearances.
Kidnappings and disappearances. Wow. Thank you, Sue. Michelle, you've unmuted. Did you want to speak next?
Sure. For me, it's just sort of the whipsaw of news and back and forth and finding a way to be grounded.
Yeah, incredible. Yeah. Thank you, Michelle, and Lissy. In a sense,
Sanctity of the rule of law, comma,
yeah.
disappearance of.
Very good. Yeah, powerful. And I know it's something that Dick, who's just unmuted himself, feels passionate about as well. But what would you like to share or add to this, Dick?
I'm concerned that the noise and distraction is taking away attention from what is much more important in the long run.
I'm just going to ask you, because I have to, what is much more important in the long run? In a
I think
sentence.
the environmental global crisis.
Great, great. Thank you. Excellent. Thank you, Dick. And we still have a few others. Please share. Just unmute and share. It's fine.
The loss of privacy, and the rapid emergence of artificial intelligence agents.
Oh, yeah, incredible. Huh? Wow. So we still haven't heard, thank you, Stefan. We still haven't heard from a number of you. Please share. Want everybody to share.
I'm concerned about the tension and anxiety of people around me and trying to manage that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, I'll
Thank you.
echo Byron, and just the loss of serenity that I personally am experiencing and feel from others.
Yeah. Great. Beautiful. And let's see. Deidre, would you share something? Be wonderful to hear from you.
Yeah, I think it's the loss of foundation. The things that we thought could not be moved are being moved, and that's
Yeah.
scary.
Yeah, very. Thank you, Deidre. And Giorgio, would you like to share anything from Italy or from wherever you are? You have to unmute if you're going to share. And if not, I will share and then ask to move into this other phase of what we're experiencing. I think to me, it's this. I can't activate audio. You share in your text if you want, in your chat. For me, it's the beating down of our spirits. And I certainly feel that, the beating down of our spirits through all this. So that's quite a list. And I think we all, the reason I think we can go a little shorter on it is that we all know it. We're all carrying this right now pretty powerfully inside of us. We're going to move to the inspiration, the action, engagement. If you feel like saying anything that ties that to some of this, just as a way to weave it all in. And here Giorgio says, and anyway, my main trouble is about the, and I can't read the rest of it. I just lost that. Anybody want to read that? Laura?
About the future of young generations.
Yeah. Wow. Yep. And Giorgio, thank you for joining us. And by the way, I'm over not far away from you right now. So who would like to share something that moves us through that hero's journey, the arc, from the depths of despair toward something that's hopeful, something that's inspiring, something that's engaged or active? Again, anyone can unmute and share. And here we can go longer. This isn't just a sentence necessarily.
I can share. I'll be a little bit less succinct than I was a few minutes ago, although, as you know, I can be long-winded, but I'll do my best. I did see Good Night and Good Luck on Broadway, about 10 blocks north of me here, where I'm sitting, and I remembered reading this book, and I found the book on my bookshelf because I have lots of books and I can't always find things, but I knew exactly where it was. And at the end of the prologue, where he goes into this speech that begins with that thing that was on the coffee cup, that this just might do nobody any good. Murrow was asked at the afterwards why he chose to bite the hand that feeds him, which is what he did. He spoke truth to power, and speaking truth to power is what we got right now. And when he was asked by a journalist, this is what ends my piece as a spoiler. He said, he sat back and grinned for the first time in days. He said, "I've always been on the side of heretics against those who burned them," he replied, "because the heretics so often proved right in the long run. Dead, but right."
Beautiful. Thank you, David. Wonderful, wonderful, and inspiring. That show is happening right now, and no doubt many people inspired by it. Who would like to go next and share what you're seeing, what you've seen, what has touched you?
I'll go. I
Yeah.
am very moved and buoyed up by the sense of community or communities on all levels, all around the world. Suicide helpline from Canada, since ours, the support groups I go to, where everybody's serenity is challenged. The invitations on all different levels of making a difference. I used to think that me being just one person and not in any sort of position of power couldn't make any difference. But if I cheer somebody else up by waving at them from my garden and they slow down and have a better day, I'm helping, and I'm trying to stay in that space.
Yeah.
I'm also praying a lot on my ancient knees. But I feel a whole different response during Trump 2 than I did in Trump 1, where it was pitchforks and torches in the streets. And now it's placards and helping people access voting, or people taking care. There's a wonderful local organization here called AMIS, and it stands for Americans Making Immigrants Safe.
Oh,
And on a city or community level, the mayor of Hiroshima said in a speech that wars are fought at the city level. So if I can bolster up or do something, even minuscule, to bolster up the city, then I'm feeling more hopeful and less powerless.
Beautiful. Thank you. Thank you, Lissy. Wonderful. The helping others, the communities that are building, and the support they all give us. Who would like to go next? Feel free to just unmute and share.
I'll go next. One of the things that living in Washington, D.C. area, there's been so much turmoil, but the support for federal workers has been really beautiful, whether it's job fairs or dinners or anything like that. There's a whole movement around supporting people who lost their jobs to no fault of their own, and it's beautiful. It's sad it has to be, but it's good that it exists.
Wow. Wow. Wonderful, Deidre. Even in Washington, D.C., we're finding heartwarming things happening. Beautiful. Thank you. Well, thank you for sharing. Who else would like to go? Who would like to go next? I want to hear from everybody, and I've got some things to share too.
It's probably a little more insular for me. I'm I am in the process of redoing my website. And as I'm doing it, I'm taking into consideration the fiat statement, which has a place on my website, and working through Kinder Institute to make sure that what we ultimately publish is something that is meaningful and helpful. And while we're doing that, I'm noticing that my team is really becoming very supportive and very connected. And as we get closer and closer to launch, I'm also hearing from people that I have spoken to over the last few years, starting to let me know, I need your help. Someone just sent me a note who is an attorney with the federal government, who said they are leaving their job and they want to get coached to help them move into the next phase. Someone from a consulting company who I've been talking to for at least 5 years is saying, gosh, I need your support to help me. I need your support to help some people that I lead. And I feel like I'm in a place where I can lend something positive to people, and it's keeping me charged up and wanting to work harder.
Wow. Wow. Wonderful, Byron. Again, this theme of community is really powerful. Um, who else would like to share? Who hasn't shared?
Would you like sure, we'll trade races for cookies. Yeah, I'll go next. This Saturday I went to Pride celebration in Northampton, Massachusetts, and it was just really wonderful to be among a queer community and have so many people out on the streets on a beautiful day. And I think that what Lissy said, shared about community and how vital that is right now, that we're really only as strong as the ties that we actively seek to reinforce. And so I've been doing a lot lately around ensuring that I know my neighbors, that I feel connected, that they know that I'm there to help them, and conversely that they can be there to support me. And so it's yeah, it was really wonderful to be surrounded by people that are exuding joy, but also recognize that there's a need to fight for our rights, and that they are actively being dismantled and destroyed. So yeah, that's what I'd like to share. Thank you.
Wow. Wow. Beautiful. Thank you again, Laura. So much happening, grassroots. Someone else who hasn't shared. Love to hear from you. Sue.
I did an advocacy day for my university at the state capitol last week, and it felt really good to be amongst other people who just believe in the university and all that it stands for, and all the promise it can give people. And then like kind of a community within the community in the post event, when we were all sitting around eating ice cream, as we do in Wisconsin. I had worn a pin that I had gotten because I was a member of the UW marching band for, you get the pin after 3 years. And so I was wearing that pin, and somebody across the table from me glanced over and said, I know that pin. What years and what did you play? And I told him, and he was like, I was 74 to 78. I played trumpet. And it just felt really cool to just have that little connection. So that community within a community, and knowing that it feels good to have those there.
Yeah, yeah. Beautiful. Sue, thank you. And just you're icing on the cake to everybody else. I'm just getting more and more feeling that we're doing something here in community. Wonderful to hear. Thank you so much. Michelle, you've unmuted yourself.
So yeah, so there's a hodgepodge of things, but mostly I'm inspired by seeing the resistance. And so here in Seattle, we have an AG who's been pretty busy. Perkins Coie did not capitulate and fought back, and all of those places where democracy is holding And then just personally, I had the chance through an alumni group to get connected with their not-for-profit alliance to do some strategic planning and just lots of interesting ideas. And so I come from the planning side, and I was really there to listen, to sort of see what our regional, local not-for-profits needed, and if we could be mobilized for crisis management to help them. And so I'm starting a project to kind of map out the ecosystem of different ways to fund or invest for social impact. It's a space that I'm new to, and had a hodgepodge of different touches on it, but to just sort of do that more systematically. And a friend who's leaving the Plan Giving world is interested in joining that effort. So that'll be super fun. And I've been looking for a way to write in this space in a way that is helpful. And I haven't quite landed in the right way for me, but I have a colleague, Pat Jennerjohn, who I think is doing a really beautiful newsletter on Substack. I called her to congratulate her, and because she did what I couldn't figure out. And I'll share her information in the chat. And she did say that she's not sending it to clients because she does have a spectrum of clients and doesn't feel like that would be the right space. And so she's doing it on Substack and directing people there. But I think she's doing a really beautiful job of connecting the things that I would like to connect in this moment and sort of nudge people's thinking. So I'm grateful to see people out there lending their voice.
Beautiful, Michelle. Always wonderful to hear from you and what's happening there in Seattle. So many things. Thank you. A few still haven't shared. Dick, yeah.
I have spent much of the last month either with COVID or taking care of my wife who has COVID when she's not taking care of me when I have COVID. I've joined a local book club in our community. I don't have any mobility abilities, so I can't get out and do things. But I do, in terms of a victory, I have had, as we all do, boxes and boxes of old photographs that I got from my life and my parents' life and their parents' life and so on. And I finished it. I've sorted it all out, the ones I'm giving to my kids and the ones I'm keeping and the ones and it is amazing. I had a coach once who talked about completions, and it is amazing how it feels when you have a project that is literally 10 years old and you finish it. So I'm not sure what that has to do with the state of the world, but I feel better.
Yeah. Well, that's the state of your world, man, and it's a good one. That sounds terrific. And I saw that you'd gotten COVID. I'm so sorry, Dick. I think you're the last person in America to get it. And so sorry that Jane has it too.
It was my second time, Jane's fourth.
Oh, is that right? Oh my.
Yes. So.
Yeah. Wow. Thank you for that. Still, is there, Stefan, are you the only one left other than me?
I might be. I was just curious and interested to hear, and I love the community theme, but I'm gonna take a little bit of a departure.
Great.
What's got me hopeful is the fact that Canadians turned away from the Conservative Party, which was up by 20 points until Trump decided that he was going to not only hit Canada with tariffs, but also annex Canada, which, as somebody pointed out, would not be the 51st state because they have 9 provinces. So it would actually wind up being 60 states. But Mark Carney prevailed, and I know a little bit about Mark because he was a third-string goalie on the Harvard hockey team.
Right.
And but he's a wonderful man. He's very down to earth. And I love the fact that he is standing up for his country. And I hope that there are other leaders who will emerge and say, you know, enough's enough. And we have to do something. And we've got to stand up to this tyranny because that's what it is. And so I'm hopeful, George, that this will be the beginning, the turn of the screw, if you will, and that we will have leaders that we don't know right now. We don't know who they are, but they're going to emerge, and they're going to emerge with a better plan and a better way for us to return to a democracy that empowers everyone.
Oh, wow. Very, very powerful, Stefan. And did you play hockey as well? Or I mean, it's hard to
I did, and I was having a conversation with one of the assistant coaches, and we were just swapping notes. And he said, "Was it true that Mark's only appearance was in a game that featured a brawl between Harvard and Colgate?" And I said, "Yeah, it's the only time where Harvard players got kicked out for throwing punches." And because you're not supposed to do that in college hockey. And he
Right.
came in and he made 5 saves, but he's not officially in the record books. He made 5 saves and he should have been in the record book.
Yeah.
But the only mention of him is to identify that he did play and the years that he played. But I sometimes message him and I also, I guess, may I share this?
Yeah,
I
sure.
emailed President Alan Garber at Harvard, and I told him how proud I was and that my company and myself are standing with him. And he emailed me back and he said, "Thank
Wow.
you so much. You have no idea how much it means to me that alumni like yourself, are reaching out and in support." So
Wow.
anyway,
Wow.
that was
Wow. Very cool, Stefan. Very good. Wonderful to hear. And I go back with Mark Carney quite a ways as well. And here it looks, Deirdre is adding about his book. And I just happen to be, well, as many of you know, one of my good pieces of news was that after working for 6 months on a business plan, the UK government gave me a very rare visa, an innovator founder visa, to do a startup here based on basically on fiat, on fiduciary in all things, and bringing that into business. So, I mean, I couldn't be more excited with that opportunity. Of course, right now I'm trying to figure out, well, what bank do I have to, I have to get a bank account, I have to get a phone, I have to get an address, all these different things that are driving me crazy. But I know that that will settle down. And so to me, I guess, Dick, as you were sharing your personal thing, I think for me, has been hopeful is that I got this. And I didn't know that I had the brains to put something like this together. And as I say, it's quite competitive. And the endorsing body that endorsed me in record time. I knew people who took months and months to get endorsed. I got endorsed in 9 days. So they must think that it has some possibility. And what I'm going to be doing, and now I don't think any of you other than Laura were there, but we did a pilot just a couple of weeks ago of the program. Went very well. The responses were largely really inspirational, telling us how inspired they were. And now I'm here and along with the 3 other trainers, and we're going to be leading a training here in the UK on a week from Friday. So I'm very excited about that and already, scoped the space and all of that. But what's really interesting is that in doing all of this, and Stefan, you may know more about this because you've been in this field for a long time, the field of governance and transformation of corporations. But as I talk with people and as I do this work myself of putting this together, I'm just realizing how inspiring it is that we're taking something in and we want to work with the workforce, the workers, whoever are there. I mean, you have to start with leaders and you have to get a CEO's stamp of approval. Otherwise, it'll never fly. But we're going to bring in fiat as an extension of B Corps, as an extension of fiduciary in financial services. We're also going to bring in mindfulness as a way for people to get kind of grounded and own moments of freedom throughout their day, even when they feel troubled in one way or another. And the other thing, that one of the main things that one of the main reasons people leave jobs is because they don't feel respected. And so the other thing that we're going to bring in, that a number of you are familiar with my work in life planning, but we're going to bring in that everybody's individual aspirations to be who they want to be is something that should be celebrated in a company, even if they want to leave in 3 weeks. But it's whoever they want to be, so that they feel trusted, and they feel the company is trustworthy. They feel kind of energized by the respect that they're given. And then, as I say, fiat extends the B Corporation notion to democracy and to truth. And one of the things that I hope to get an article out on in the next month or so is on truth, because I've written about a bell curve of truth. It's just crazy how the propaganda is taking us over, and everybody says, oh, well, truth is relative, what can you do? And they throw their hands up, and it's like the only thing you can do is get a program to figure out what's true and what isn't, and it's like blaming the victims. We're the victims of that, and the people that perpetrate it ought to be the ones that really clean it up. But anyway, I've got some thoughts on that, and I'm excited about it. So I'm just excited that I've got the opportunity to do something, and with small but intrigued communities of support, including yourselves. So that's my pitch for what's inspiring for me. Any final comments? It's nice to see you all. I'm going to be over here for a long time. By the way, I have to be at least 6 months a year here, and if I go for citizenship, which I might, I have to be 9 months a year over here. And doing that would give the kids dual citizenship, which would mean something to my family. But anyway, it's all a mystery. Right now, I'm just going to bring the good news into businesses. So if they'll open their doors and speak to me. So I should say that I've been a number of you online with me. I got something like 352 likes for this announcement that I was moving to the UK to bring fiat and fiduciary into business. I got that on LinkedIn, and then on Facebook, I think we got another 200, 180 or something like that. Yeah. So anybody else, any final comments? I'm really glad you're here. So sorry on the glitches here, and I got to figure out what my computer's doing. We'll be better next time. Any final comments? Love to see you. And by the way, those of you who are new, you're welcome to join the steering committee as well, where we're really looking to move fiat forward in lots of different ways, in powerful ways, into society. I think Deidre, you're even aware of what fiat is, right? Fiduciary in all things. Yeah, good. Anybody else in closing? Yes, Lissy.
I'm double dipping, but what I forgot to say that I thought was new and tremendously encouraging this time around is the forming up alliance of state governors.
Yeah. Wow. Yeah.
And speaking out and starting with Janet Mills saying, "See you in court."
Yeah.
And then Pritzker, who looks like a black and white cartoon from 100 years ago.
Yeah.
Charming. And maybe that's the energy we need.
Yeah.
But there's people popping up all over saying this far and no further. You shall not pass.
Right on.
Very
Right on.
encouraging.
Right on. Well, good. Lots of good news. You've given me hope. Thank you for it. And I'll see you again in somewhere between 2 and 4 weeks, I think, something like that. Laura, anything you want to say final? Thank you, Sue.
No, yeah, thank you all. Yeah, so I'll also include the Fiat steering committee information in the email follow-up, as well as the recording and the items from the chat. So thanks so much, George, and everyone for supporting this support group, because again, I'm really impressed that everyone stuck around and really wanted to be part of this. So thank you for being here.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Nice to see you again and nice to meet you.
Bye, everyone.
Yeah, bye.
Hi, everybody.